Mere Casuals is a World of Warcraft classic podcast. For questions, comments, or feedback, you can find us at Mere Casuals on Twitter or Mastodon, or email us at merecasuals@gmail.com. Now let's get to our latest episode.
Look at this, Dad.
Okay, it's on recording.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Mere Casuals.
Hello.
I know what you're all thinking. Why are Al, Sam, and Josh wearing the same clothes they were wearing last episode?
How would they even know?
They can tell.
Oh, okay.
It's because, as we said at the beginning of last episode, we went so long where we were all sick and we couldn't get together to record. We've decided to record a couple episodes back to back today.
However, to make it interesting, we did swap clothes.
Yes, I said we're all wearing the same clothes, as in the same 3 sets of clothes. I didn't say who was wearing which clothes. So you guys are just going to have to try and guess which one of us is wearing Sam's clothes.
Well, I was just going to say that I was actually the lucky one to get Sam's clothes, which leads me to this question. Do these pants make me look fat?
They actually really do. I'm sorry. I mean, you asked. I wasn't going to say anything. But on the flip side, Sam's wearing my clothes and my pants make her look like a small child.
My question is, Sam, how do you tolerate this string going up here all the time?
Oh my god.
That's okay. You should have seen what happened when I put it on the wrong way first.
Oh my god.
This
Hey,
ain't
swapping
holding
clothes
nothing
was
in.
your idea. So anyways, we're back after a long
Hiatus.
15-minute break between recording the last episode and this one. But we're going to pretend it's been a full week or 5 days or 6 days or 8 days, depending on when I post these episodes.
Yeah.
It would be nice, it'd be nice if we did a thing like every Monday we post an episode. But I feel like we're not relying.
But then we got sick.
I think we posted our first ever episode on a Monday. And then I think we were late. Oh no, we went camping. So we were like a week and a half for the next episode. And rather than wait till the Monday, I posted it on like a Thursday or something. I don't know. And then we were like, we'll make another one and start doing it on Monday again. And then everyone was sick forever. And I don't even know what day it is today.
Sunday.
Is it Sunday? Oh, it's Sunday.
Daylight savings.
So the episode 3 that we required a little... Oh yeah, it was too. See, I'm looking at the clock and I'm paranoid because I'm supposed to do the last 2 bosses of NAX 25 at 5 p.m. server time.
Still the same time.
Well, I don't know because there's daylight. I don't know because the servers are in the States, right? But do all of the United States do daylight savings time? I know Saskatchewan doesn't.
I checked our little thing and it said
Realm
time and server time.
And it's still the same time as our time?
Still said the same time.
Because I'm paranoid I'm going to like miss the raid or something.
But the dailies did.
Yeah, the dailies reset an hour early.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm concerned and confused.
Canada can't be the only daylight savings. Are we?
No, but not everywhere does it. Like, Saskatchewan doesn't do daylight savings time.
Oh.
They think they're better than
Then
us.
why do we?
I don't know. Do you not like it?
I was going to say the extra hour of sleep would have been nice if we got it.
Yeah, we didn't.
Oh, does that... Oh, yeah. That's all I had to say.
Okay.
Okay.
I just felt like there was going to be more, but it was just some grunts. That's all right. But yeah, like, I don't know, because I think the servers are in like California or something, aren't they?
I don't know, but it said the same.
Does California observe daylight savings time?
Does
California have farmers?
You have friends in California. Message them and ask them.
What if it's 3 a.m. there right now? I don't know how time works.
Oh, God.
It could be 3 a.m., it could be 3 p.m., it could be 4 p.m., it could be 2 p.m. Did we move forward or back?
Yes.
We gained an hour.
We gained an hour. So does
It's
that mean
fall
we moved
back?
We moved back.
So we
Spring
moved the
forward.
clock back an hour. So it was 1 p.m. for 2 hours 1 a.m. for 2 hours in a row.
2. They
So-
switch at 2. Do they not?
Yes,
I
2
thought
o'clock happens twice.
2 o'clock? I thought it was 1 o'clock that happened twice.
Well, no, because it hits 2. Well, it might. Maybe 2 hours.
I don't know.
Or it doesn't hit 2.
Does it go 1:59 and then 1?
Or is it 2:59 back to 2?
I don't think it's
2:59 back to
2:59.
2.
Are you sure?
I'm,
That feels wrong to me. That feels like way more
I'm
of a stretch than
37%
1:59 to
sure.
1. That's not good odds.
Well, given
the
that
thing
there's
is, like, I
24
know-
other hours to use, is not bad.
I know that as a general rule of thumb, if it is 10 o'clock here, it's 7 o'clock in California. I know because when they do the patch, like the downtime every Tuesday, it's 10 o'clock that the servers go down. Is that going to be 9 o'clock now?
Maybe.
Like, my morning's off. Am I going to have to stop playing earlier? Or is it still, like, because the dailies were weird. Like, what time is it in California right now? Are they 2 hours ahead of us? Are they still 3 hours ahead of us?
Yes.
Do they even recognize the concept of time in California? I know there's a lot of hippies there.
Don't know.
Is there still a lot of hippies in California?
I haven't been there since.
It is 12:21 p.m. PST
California.
time. In
See, that's
California.
PST, so that's Pacific Standard Time. There's also PDT, right?
Oh, it's
Pacific Daylight Time.
It's PST. They want you to send a tell. Please send tell. They want everybody to know what time it is in California.
But isn't there there's Pacific Standard Time and Pacific Daylight Time. Are they the same
Okay,
thing?
Pacific Standard Time during Standard Time, and Pacific Daylight Time is during Daylight Savings Time.
So what is during Daylight Savings Time? Is that the period between spring and fall, or is that the period between fall and spring?
Yes.
It just says California shares its time zone and DST schedule with bordering states Oregon and Nevada.
Now, what is a DST? Oh, Daylight Savings Time schedule.
I already said that.
Can you Google what time is my raid today?
You know what, folks? If you just
How's Google going to know that?
Google
if you
knows a
just
lot of
practice the
things
next
you wouldn't.
time change and skip past an hour of this, you might actually get into the podcast.
Hey, this is quality content. Hey, we're 6 minutes in. At 6 minutes and 30 seconds of the last episode, we had done nothing but talk about EverQuest. I feel like time zones is another topic.
True, they were both complete waste of time.
No.
Oh, there's that word time again.
Daylight savings benefits farmers somehow. I don't really understand why or how.
I googled what time is my raid tonight, and Pokemon Go fandom popped up.
Oh.
Let's not
Oh,
talk
we
about
haven't
that.
done that in a while. We just kind of stopped playing that, didn't we?
It's all about Pokemon Go, so that won't help you.
Really? You Google raids and all it is Pokemon Go? What does the world come to?
Pokemon.
The world has come to Pokemon. All right. Well,
Raid hour is between 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. your local time.
On
Oh, okay.
Wednesdays.
so that's
Oh,
all right.
Wednesdays.
So
Every
I have
Wednesday.
I have 2.5 hours then.
Was that right?
I have no idea what we're talking about anymore. So should we start talking about World of Warcraft stuff?
Yes.
Probably that's why people come.
Because we made that's gross, Sam. That's gross. There's really no reason to pull that kind of dirty talk into our podcast.
Come listen to us. Does that make it better?
I'm
Probably
sure.
not.
Maybe. So we made a promise last episode that we were going to talk about professions this episode. So should we talk about professions this episode?
Can we skip Jewelcrafting?
No, because I have some stuff I wanna discuss about jewel crafting. Oh, I was going to open the game and go to the auction house. I don't know if I can get my game to open and have.
I could turn my
OBS
computer
recording
on,
this.
but you complain about
Your
how loud it is.
computer sounds like a wind tunnel. Your fan is so strong. I recorded on episode 2. I don't know if either of you actually listened to episode 2.
I did.
But in episode 2, there's a little intro blurb thing that I did that I was going to do for every episode, but I've been sick, so I've done absolutely nothing. I recorded it on your computer, and in the background of the whole thing, you can just hear whoosh.
I thought those were special sound effects that you
Well,
used.
that's the thing. I was talking about Howling Fjord, so I was going to add the wind sounds. I went back and listened to it, and I was like, it already sounds like I'm in a wind tunnel. I guess I don't need to.
It doesn't bother me.
You're probably just used to it. But the thing is, you're not listening to you on a podcast. Imagine yourself listening to yourself, and all you can hear is your computer.
I have 4 separate household fans that blow into my computer.
Like big, like stand fans.
Oh yeah,
Is it so it doesn't catch fire?
something like that. Think of those 1970s computer. I need a whole room just in fans.
Just to cool it. So you don't even need to turn your heat on in the winter. Just turn your fans off.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the heat from your computer heat your apartment?
Yeah.
Sounds good. So, I don't remember how we got back into being sidetracked.
Jewelcrafting. Let's do jewelcrafting. We can finish it up because we kind of
Let's
touched
start.
upon it
Yeah,
last
let's
time.
start. Oh, right, because I was saying I wanted to have the game open so I could look at the auction house.
Yeah, so your bold scarlet ruby is going to be 3 gems to learn, and I'll make that for you, plus 16 strength.
Yeah, so that's what we started talking about. I want to open with that because we started talking about that last episode. So you were talking about the cost of the damaged necklaces, right? Mm-hmm. And I was talking about the bold scarlet rubies, and I know there is one for 16 hit as well, and I'm sure there's stuff that casters like. Oh, casters like hit rating as well. So, but there are gems that you need a lot of, right? So let's talk about the bold scarlet ruby. How do you get the bold scarlet ruby recipe, which is plus 16 strength to a red gem slot?
Well, I go into the jewelry store
Yes.
in Dalaran,
Yes.
and I buy it, and it costs me 3 gem crafters tokens, which are the rewards from the daily quests.
From the daily quest. Okay, so it takes you 3 of those, and it would normally take you 3 days, right?
Yes.
So
And that's one example. So just to throw in another example to use with your next point that I think you're going to make is that those titanium impact chokers and rings cost 7. I think the rings were 5, the choker was 7, or they're both 7. I don't
so that's
recall.
the jewelry items you can make with,
Yes.
which are quite good. They're not quite as good as the ones you can buy with the emblems from doing heroic raids, but they're better than anything you're going to get as an actual dungeon drop, short of a raid.
Mm-hmm.
And they're better than any BOE item, which for people who don't know, BOE means you can trade it and someone else can equip it. It doesn't bind until you actually equip it.
Well, that is a BOE item.
I know, but it's better than any BOE dropped item.
Yes.
Like, because there's like blue items that will drop like open world or in dungeons that you could then sell in the auction house. So your ring and your neck item, your titanium whatever items, those are basically the best you can get without raiding or saving up emblems.
I think there's a few very rare purple drops, but not
But
many.
purple, like they're super rare. I think purple world drops are even rarer in Wrath than they have been in past expansions.
So it takes a week of regular questing to get the pattern for that.
Okay.
Which
So
yes,
what I'm saying is that say hypothetically I'm a jewel crafter, which you're a jewel crafter, I know that, but for this example we're going to say hypothetically I'm a jewel crafter. So I'm sitting here and it's day 1 of Wrath of the Lich King, and I can do my jewel crafting daily quest once, and I can get 1 gem, which means I cannot buy the bold scarlet ruby pattern, I cannot buy the titanium impact choker pattern, I cannot buy whatever the ring is called pattern, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, okay, I'm a jewel crafter, I am just going to proceed to not make any money today. Or I can buy up all the damaged necklaces I can find on the auction house, which were going for how much in the beginning? Like $750 each?
I didn't even think to look at them in the beginning. They are up over 1,000 gold. The really cheap ones you can find were when I first looked at them, the cheapest one was about 900 gold.
Okay. So let's say what would I need? I would need 9 of them then to get those 2 recipes, right? So how do you get so describe jewel crafting for me. How do you get the gems? You have to prospect something, right? How does prospecting
There's
work?
a number of ways you can get it. So
how do you get your, what are they called, how do you get your scarlet rubies?
you mine nodes.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you can
gems pop
just
out.
randomly get them off that.
Yep.
Okay.
Or you prospect the ore. Now it all depends. The level of the jewel you get is the level of the ore you prospect.
And you
So
can't, is there any way to like farm a certain type of gem, or is it all random?
It's random.
Okay.
But I don't make a lot of things for a lot of people, it seems, so I have quite a few. And when you max out your JC, your jewel crafting, you also get a chance to make an icy prism, which requires 3 lower gems. I think it was a shadow gem, a chalcedony, and a huge citrine maybe, but look it up, I might be wrong, and a frozen orb. Makes a prism, you open up the prism, you get 3 to 4 gems. I haven't gotten this yet, but there's a chance that it drops a cat's eye emerald as well.
Are those the epic ones?
Yes.
Okay.
That only JC. Well, those are used in the making of the purple patterns, but you can also cut a plus 34 item.
That's self only, right?
Only jewel crafters can use it, and it says unique 3 on it.
Okay, so you can only have. Okay, so basically, what I'm getting at is there's no way to like reliably make sure you're getting the specific gem you want unless you buy them.
Yeah,
Okay,
I guess if you
But-
want to put it that way, yeah.
but okay, so everybody, I know though the bold scarlet rubies, they seem to be one of the most popular and expensive gems you can get just for the basic gem slots right now. I know because I have to keep buying them. I don't have to. I choose to keep buying them. So I have noticed that they usually sell, in the early days, they were selling for like 300 gold a piece for these gems. And you could buy the basic scarlet rubies. Am I saying it right? Because I feel like I'm saying it different every time. You can buy the basic scarlet. See, Sam's super bored with this conversation. She just wandered off. Bye, Sam. She'll be back. You can buy the basic scarlet rubies.
I was just checking.
Okay, she was just making sure the back of our house was still here. You never know. So you could buy the basic scarlet rubies for less than 100 gold each, and you could sell the cut plus 16 strength gems for over 300 each. So right there, I'm looking at that, and I think, okay, all I've got to do is buy 2 of these damaged necklaces for 1,000 gold each, and I can basically just print gold by buying gems for 100 gold and selling the cut gems for 300 gold. And as long as there's people buying them, there's really no limit to how much you can flip with that. So being one of the few people with those patterns on day one, you can make a bunch of money early just flipping those gems, right?
Yeah, you might have a valid argument for day one.
Right now, like if they're still selling for 1,000 gold, then I'm with you. I don't understand that. That seems like really expensive. Because there's an inscription equivalent, the Book of Glyph of Runes or something. I forget what it's called. I've never actually won one. They sell for like 40 gold. Like they're cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same deal. Like I can research one recipe a day, and that speeds up my process. So.
Was that the book that Gildy was trying to get rid of today?
Yes.
Oh,
You
I
were
want one.
napping.
Oh, you didn't grab it for me?
I didn't know if you needed it. I wouldn't even have known how to check if you needed it.
I mentioned that Will might use it, and then Will Ferrell's walked in.
Oh,
I'm using names now, sorry, but it was funny. So I really confused her, but I think it's gone. But I tried. To
It doesn't matter. I don't need it. It's just it's a convenience thing. It gets me my recipes faster, and they're much cheaper than the damaged necklaces. But for those neck items, it's probably even more so for those neck items, right? Because with the gems, you need gear to put the gem into, and day one, not everybody even has gear that they need those gems for. But day one, or like I guess are they level 80 required for those?
Yes.
Basically, as soon as you hit level 80, you can use that neck, and it's going to be a huge upgrade for whatever you have.
It'd be your best in slot for a number of whiles.
Yes, for a while, at least until you've done enough heroics to buy one of those. But even then, use those heroic badges to buy the other stuff that you can't just buy from a jewel crafter and wait,
Yes.
right?
Yes, because
So-
your best bet is to wait for further raids to be released at this point.
Like I feel like for a while there was probably a benefit to those damaged necklaces, and that's probably why the cost was so high.
Yeah.
I know you don't see it probably because you didn't have that initial stockpile of gold to invest. But let's say you went into this expansion and you had 50,000 gold sitting in your bank just ready to dump into something like this and start making money.
No, I'd be afraid of the Allen effect.
What's the Allen effect?
So I was thinking of this before we started this. It seems when I enter the marketplace, it seems that everything drops and people stop buying. So, give you the titanium impact choker that Sam didn't use. Sent it to me. 1,500 gold it sells for. Okay, within a matter of days of me entering, it's down to 1,000.
How much does it cost you to make those? Is that still good?
Takes 4 of those
Because-
eyes. No, I'm breaking close to even.
No, yeah.
A
See,
lot
I've
of money
noticed
making
that.
for you.
I've noticed that with
Sorry.
some of my enchants
Yeah.
that the price is starting
You
to
should have asked me before you
bottom
made it.
out.
I just thought it'd be nice.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, that's my thoughts on why those. So, do you have anything else to say about jewel crafting? What else have you been doing with your jewel crafting?
Well, you're asking about prospecting. You don't know how that works?
You've said you prospect. So what is okay? I know with my inscription, you take 5 herbs, and you mill them, and you get a random product based on the level of the herbs. Is it the same with the?
Yes. 5 ore, you prospect it, and you get a gem or two.
So is it scaled within the expansion as well? Like, is it like cobalt, you get these gems? I don't know the other ore types in Northrend.
The percentages change. So with cobalt, you're going to get a higher percentage, lower gem. Slim possibility you get a higher gem. When you get into the serenite, and I've not prospected titanium.
Can
because, you? Yes. So when you get into the serenite, yes, you can. You get the higher gems with a very small percentage of the small gems. Now, I think I have seen some high-end gems come out of the cobalt. I have never seen a low-end gem come out of the serenite.
Like a green quality gem?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's drawing from the same gem pool. You just have a better chance of getting the good ones from the higher level ores.
Yes.
Okay.
And eventually when they release the next level of gem, that
The
might come
epic
from
gems.
titanium. That may also come from, maybe the serenite might start producing that as well.
Okay. Well, that's kind of similar to how the milling works, but when I talk about Inscription, I'll get into the milling. So then, like, have you been using Jewelcraft? Like, have you been prospecting and flipping gems or anything? Like,
I've been making them for friends. I've been saving all my gems, waiting for you folks to ask for them, and you never do.
You need a blue
So
and a red, but I gotta Google it.
Should.
see, I've been sitting and waiting for you to have the gem cuts that I need.
I keep saying, guys, tell me what I have. I have about eight or nine credits right now. I want to know what you want. I keep saying, tell me what you want, and I will buy it.
so-
I think I even said it today to you.
There was the gem that I did want that was going to take you 3 days to save up for, the meta slot for my helm. And I was like, this is the one I'm pretty sure I need for my healing helm. And you were like, okay, it'll take me this many days. Oh no, you said I could do it right now.
Yes.
Or I could do this and do this other thing, and then it'll be 3 days. I was like, wait the 3 days, because my heal set's not urgent for the gems. So you did wait, and then a day later, I got an upgrade for my healing helm that did not have a meta slot on it, so I don't need the gem anymore. Which, now that I'm thinking and saying it out loud, I wonder if it's actually an upgrade without a meta slot. Because those meta gems are pretty good. The one I wanted was Int, and then it was a chance to restore mana on cast, right?
I feel
Yeah,
like
I can
that's,
still buy that pattern if you want to do a
token.
restore and get that one back.
Oh yeah, I guess I could do a restore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if it's even an upgrade taking the meta slot into account. I'd have to look at it.
Do you think that meta gem would sell? I need the meta gem, but I'm gonna look it up.
don't know.
If it's worthwhile, I might grab it and make yours and make a bunch and sell it.
Because I don't know what the cost to you is for meta gems, but they're not super expensive to just buy.
I might be able to get your strength. I think I have the agility. Maybe I don't. Or we should. Yeah, I've been stocking up agility. It turns out agility is not really what I want. Agility helps, but I got to look at hit, crit, expertise,
Oh, because your
penetration,
stat priority.
armor pen. Like agility is down on the list, and I don't know where it is for a hunter. So I mean, we should take some time to straighten out what we actually need, and then I can purchase what we need.
Mine's agility.
I know. Well, you do need agility, but I know, especially once you get into marksman, you're going to be really looking for some penetration. Like you're gonna need a lot of penetration, particularly on bosses. You're gonna need to stack that penetration. You're gonna need like multiple penetration items.
Yeah. See, with his
Like all at the
professions,
same time.
he can't penetrate you as well as I can.
I have. You know what? I don't even know if I have. I think I might have one penetration ability with my
Yeah,
enchanting.
see,
I can't really.
I can penetrate many different ways.
I can do almost no penetration with my inscription.
Yeah. My penetration is a wide
Is
variety.
this like instead of a sister wives, it's the like, brother husband thing?
No, this
going
is a
on here?
legitimate thing.
We're
World of
talking about
Warcraft.
Jewelcrafting and
Oh.
other things.
World
Of
of
course,
Warcraft
that's what
puts
you
a
guys-
lot of
okay.
priority on hunters. They really pressure hunters into a lot of penetration as well as rogues, because like for myself, I'm a paladin. Like I'm a holy man. I don't need penetration.
Yeah, and rogues, they're best with the penetration as they're sticking them from behind.
It's true. Like literally, that's how rogues work. They need a lot of penetration when they're hitting from behind.
Why? What are you thinking?
Next question.
Because my ability as a paladin, I do a lot of holy damage. I don't do a lot of straight physical damage.
If you're
So,
shooting from
I
a
don't-
distance, definitely penetration will help.
Well, Sam needs the long range penetration. Penetration at a distance.
See, you do it with an animal, and
Her animal doesn't need penetration. Her animal's just an animal on its own.
but it helps to have penetration with an animal.
All the penetration needs to be on Sam. You can gem for it as well. I'm pretty sure
Right.
there's gems that you can use for penetration.
Yes.
But I did notice, okay, to get back on actual topic, 100% of what I just said was true, though.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're talking about JC and penetration.
I did
Okay.
notice because I was doing some Nax raids with the guild, right? And what you can do is you can log. I have it set up so that I'm logging all my raids, and I submit it to the raid log site, and you can see, and you get your parse numbers where it compares your DPS to all of the other people of your class on that fight, and their numbers, right? And a couple weeks ago, I did Nax, and I was seeing that my numbers were pretty low. Like, I had a lot of, like, 20 and 30th percentile kind of DPS numbers on the bosses. And I was like, well, that's not great. So I kind of looked into my class, I looked at my stat priority, and I had gone out of my way to make sure my hit was maxed. So my hit rating was maxed. So that was good. But I kind of ignored expertise, because expertise is a new stat. Is it new, or was it it was in Burning Crusade?
We didn't play it enough for me to really notice. We kind
See,
of just
it's-
zipped through it and then went right into
It's
Wrath.
not a classic WoW stat.
No.
It's not a Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, AQ40 stat. Like, it doesn't exist in that version of WoW.
After Classic. I
Neither
mean,
does Armor Penetration, for that
They had
matter. but-
haste. They added haste, expertise, and yes, of course, penetration. They added a
Yes.
lot of penetration after Classic.
Yes, and expertise. So what I was seeing is that I needed to hit my expertise cap to maximize my DPS, and all of the guides I was reading were saying, you can get a big DPS boost out of just making sure your expertise is maxed.
Yeah.
So I did some gear tweaking, and I took my expertise from, I think I had like 8 expertise rating, which had me at like 1 or 2% or something, and I bumped that all the way up to my soft cap as a paladin, because there's a certain amount that I can get to with gear, and then on top of that I can get 1 glyph, and on that single glyph I can add 10 expertise rating, which is huge, as long as I'm using a specific seal, which is like not the animal, like my spell that I cast on myself
Yeah.
that dictates what kind of damage I do. So if I'm fighting a boss, this is my single damage DPS seal. So I can add a glyph that adds 10 expertise rating to that seal, which makes it really easy for me to hit my expertise cap against bosses. And bosses are where you're really looking at your parse number for raids. So with basically just fixing my expertise cap, and maybe kind of tweaking my damage rotation a little bit, from one raid to the next, I went from being in like the 20s and 30s to like the 50s and 60s of
Good
percentile
times.
for DPS. So just looking at your stat priority, like listening to Icy Veins, because apparently they know what they're talking about. If you look at Icy Veins and say, I don't know what expertise makes, so I'm gonna skip that stat, that can really make your DPS stuffer. So looking at those stat priorities makes a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it out loud, it makes sense to have a little bit of expertise with your penetration. And
I don't
you add
need
some
penetration
haste,
because I'm holy damage.
and you add some haste, I can see how things can get done really quick.
So some of the guides actually, I think I'm doing something that I like better than what some of the guides are saying, right? So a lot of them are saying, those potions of speed that give you the 500 haste rating, they're saying to use that, right? Like, what you usually do is on a boss kill, if you have a shaman in your raid, which you better have at least one shaman in your raid, they pop Bloodlust at a certain point. So when Bloodlust is popped, try and have some cooldowns off. So Bloodlust is popped, you pop your damage cooldowns, and you pop a potion. Some people pop a haste potion. I've started popping the crit potions. They add 200 crit rating and 200 spell damage. So the crit rating's nice because it adds like another 5% crit or something, and I just crit nonstop. And the 200 spell damage though goes on to my holy damage, and a lot of my damage is holy damage. So I find I'm getting a lot more benefit out of the crit and spell damage potion than I was out of the haste potion. wouldn't work for you. So I mean, well, you'd still get the crit bonus because crit works for spell and melee now. There's no spell crit and melee crit differentiation. They're both the same. I don't know what any of this has to do with jewel crafting because we were going to talk about professions. But,
Yeah, we got into stats.
but yeah, that's something I've learned because I've been trying to better myself. I know I'm a casual player, but I'm trying to learn to be better.
We're casually getting better.
So, anyways, gems. Don't remember what you were saying. Oh, you're trying to gem your gear better, basically, to follow those stat recommendations.
My expertise was through the roof. It was my hit cap I had to bring down, and I got to look at a few other things.
Like you had to hit your hit cap?
I had to hit my hit cap, and I had to become less of an expert. And I think I'm still over. Well, I think it's closer now, but my expertise was just skyrocketed. I have no idea.
There's a lot of expertise on leather gear. I've noticed that, and there's a lot of because I know some of my, like when you look at your best in slot lists, like if you use 80 upgrades or something, a lot of my stuff comes up like there's mail and leather stuff that's listed as good for me, but it has a lot of armor penetration, and my armor penetration priority is really low. So I try to avoid some of that stuff. And it also has a ton of expertise in hit, and I'm already expertise in hit capped. So I'm looking for more attack power, or strength specifically, because the reason I want strength instead of attack power is because I have a talent that gives me plus 15% to my strength. So I actually get more attack power from strength than I do just from attack power.
Oh, I want to try some combinations. I can't wait till we do our alts.
So
I'm working on my ult.
we've been working on alts.
Haven't you been working on your ult?
No, I'm waiting for you to catch up. I'm at 70.
What level are you? Oh, I'm
Oh,
69.
I'm 68.
I'm 69.
Oh yeah, our warrior shaman duo
What
that
are
we've been
you?
playing are
You're
69.
warrior.
68, yeah. He keeps getting eaten up. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with him.
I thought you were 70.
No, I went to Northrend at 68, tried a few quests, and died an extreme lot.
Oh,
So
well,
here's
where
one-
are you in? Never mind.
Borean Tundra.
Yeah, I know you already said that. That's why I said never mind.
I wonder if we're in a similar spot. Maybe we could group. But here's one tip I have. If you're getting like eaten up by the Northrend quest, just go back to Burning Crusade and finish leveling to 70 in the Burning Crusade zones. It'd be easier, and that way you'd be 2 levels higher when you start Borean Tundra. But there's also kind of a little trick that me and Sam are doing with our characters that we're leveling. We're like, you know how we were doing the heroic earlier, and I was complaining that it was during Winter Grasp, so I wasn't getting Stonekeeper tokens. What you can do with those is you can take those Stonekeeper tokens. Peace. Why are you holding up 2? Is there a 2?
I got 2 of what you're about to say.
You got 2 weapons already?
No.
No? Okay, so
2
what's
tokens.
2 of the things that give you honor?
No.
No? Okay, so I'm just going to say my thing because you obviously don't know what I'm saying yet. So you can go to the Winter Grasp vendor and you can buy items with 30 Stonekeeper totems. You can buy an item that you, on use, gives you 200 honor points. 2,000 honor points. So what we're going to do is we're storing up, and they're account bound, sorry. They're also account bound. So you can buy those with your main, who's collecting all the Stonekeeper tokens. I keep saying totems. Tokens. You can buy these items that you click for honor, then mail them to your alt, and when they hit 70, you use them, and you can buy the Brutal Gladiator weapons. It's instant upgrade. It's better than anything you're probably going to have through the leveling process in Burning Crusade. And there, suddenly, you've got 2 really good weapons that you can then enchant with something nice. And if you're a melee class, then you're going to be cutting through that early Northrend content a lot easier than if you're using a couple greens.
See, I thought you were going to mention heirlooms.
Oh yeah, heirlooms are good too. They give you an experience bonus.
I got the chest and the shoulders.
They're not going to help you kill things easier. They're just going to give you more benefit when you do kill things. So like the chest gives you 10%, the shoulders give you 10%. So it's a 20% experience bonus on everything, quests and kills.
It's almost like having the BIS as well for your level, best in slot for your level.
Yeah.
So everything went up. My armor, my strength, everything went up with them. So
Yeah, they're going to be better than any greens. Like I'm sure you could find something that would be better than the heirloom stats at a level, but you'd have to like do dungeons for it or something. It's probably not worth the trouble. They're going to be high-end stats for your level.
So now I'm just wondering. Well, I used the shards already on the shoulders. So I can't buy those.
You've got 2 levels as well.
Yeah, but there's also lost my train of thought.
Just
I haven't decided
brutal-
what I'm going to do.
For what?
My warrior, because if you're coming out as a warrior and you're coming out as a shaman, should I get the gear to tank?
I mean, you can do what you want. I mean, they're alts, right? So, like, if you have, like, say you took your warrior and you geared him to tank, then Sam's not going to want to tank with her warrior.
I
'cause-
suggested it, and you told me I wouldn't be good at it.
No, you suggested it, and I asked you if you think you'd be comfortable with it, and you didn't really think you were. Like, I think you could do it, but you'd have to focus it and learn it. And there's a lot of decision making on tanking that you said you don't want to have to do.
Yeah.
I'm not
So
saying
that's
you
on you.
can't. I'm sure you can. I'm just saying, do you want to, or would you rather be a DPS warrior because you have experience with that?
Probably just stick with DPS.
What is your shaman doing?
Heals.
My shaman, right now I'm enhancement.
Oh, enhancement. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
it's melee shaman.
No.
Oh,
Never
so
mind.
that's actually funny. So Sam knows what I'm going to say. So we're playing. So this is the shaman that I made in Classic, right? So I made this one. We played it up to 60 when we were originally Horde before we switched to Alliance. So this was like probably early days of Molten Core era in Classic. Like this was a long time ago.
This is the same as my warrior.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't have good gear on this shaman. Like I showed you, like when I hit Burning Crusade level, I got an upgrade to my ring. I think I linked it. I had a ring that was just 4 spirit in one of my ring slots, which is one of the most useless. I might as well have had an empty slot. Like really. So my gear was not great. So, but I got gear from quests and stuff as we're going through Burning Crusade, and we leveled through. We did Hellfire Peninsula. Then we went to Nagrand, and we did almost all of Nagrand, and then we went to Shadow Moon. We did Shadow Moon for a while, and hit 68. And at 68, we're like, okay, we're going to Northrend. So we both went back to Orgrimmar, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't think I've been to my trainer in a while. I should go train. So I went to my trainer, and I looked, and okay, so this whole time we're in Outlands, I'm playing my shaman, and I'm like, I remember shamans being better than this. Like I've got the Maelstrom weapon ability, right? You can when you're meleeing, you get stacks of this, and when you hit 5, you get an instant cast on your lightning
Yes.
or your heals,
Yes.
right? So like that would store up, and I'd have my chain lightning, and I'd hit it, and I'd do like 5% damage to 3 mobs, and I'd be like, okay, it's kind of lame, but okay, it was a thing that I did. Or I'd like store it up, and I'd hit my chain heal, and I would do a little bit to me and barely a sliver I could see to Sam. So I'd have to like spam my big heal just like a few times to get Sam's health up, and I'm like, maybe I'm just spoiled from playing a paladin, but shamans really suck. Like this was not a comfortable leveling experience. Like I felt
I get where you're going with
I
this.
felt like I was walking through mud the entire time we're leveling. So we get to 68, and I'm like, okay, we're going to Northrend, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, this is going to be hard. Because stuff in Northrend hits harder, it has more health, and I'm like barely holding my own against this Burning Crusade content. So I go to my trainer, I was like, oh, I don't think I've been here in 2 or 3 levels. So I go to train my skill, and I open it up, and there is this massive list of stuff I can train, and I'm clicking through it, and I don't think I trained a single ability since level 42.
So at least you had the dual wield.
I did have the dual wield. I must have just stopped. Well, that's talent, though. Dual wield's a talent.
Oh, true.
So, like, I went through and I had, like, almost 800 gold. Insert awkward cut while we all paused and giggled as someone peed in the room right beside where we were recording, and it all picked up on the audio. And I said that because I have that character in the guild now as well, and I said that in guild when I did it. And of course, like half the guild was playing their shaman alts at the time, and they all laughed at me. It was kind of funny.
Did anyone go, oh, I should go train?
They didn't, because I think they actually train their skills at the appropriate times. So I was just writing down the timestamp for when that happened, so I know when to go back and edit. That says
That's
38.
not even okay.
It's a 3 and an 8. That is clearly 38. So you didn't have nearly as much to train, so you must have trained at some point.
I made a level I made it. Like I.
Oh right,
I,
yours was a boosted character.
Yeah, mine was
so
a
you
boosted.
probably hadn't trained, but everything was maxed out for level 60.
Did.
Boosted characters, they have
Rude.
terrible gear, but I mean, if you don't want a level
Oh, it's
1
pretty
to 60,
good now. My
Well,
gear's
yeah,
good now.
because you're not in the boosted character gear, you're in gear that we've got in the leveling process.
Yeah.
Um,
But I used to dual wield two pretty sweet.
well, yeah, because we ran you through
What was
Mana
it?
Tombs
Yeah, okay.
swords. We ran you through Mana Tombs over and over again until you got the two-handed swords from there. So you were doing fine. You had your skills and your weapons, and my shaman was just a mess. But yeah, so we're now either 41 or 39 minutes into the episode, depending on how much I have to edit out. And we've barely talked about jewel crafting, and we haven't even gotten to mine and Sam's professions. So, Sam, what is your profession?
I am skinning and leatherworking.
And what do you do with that?
I skin animals.
Just
not
animals?
humans. Humans, you're not allowed to skin.
And you seem really bitter than that on an almost daily basis.
It's not that I don't even know how to word this. Psycho? I don't know.
You're not
It's
psycho?
Still, human is still leather.
But it's not that tough.
It'd be flimsy.
If you were going to skin humans, it would only be at level 1 leather. Leather 1 level. Level 1 leather.
Like,
working.
would you want to wear armor made out of human skin? Maybe don't answer that. But it's not going to be
Here.
it's not going to be super strong. Like,
Give me a knife and give me your armor, and I'll show you.
or
Can I do it?
To
To
yourself?
you?
Sure. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
or you can skin. Right now we're in the Northlands, right?
Yes.
Northrend? We're in Northrend. So we're up there with all these animals, like the mammoths and the rhinos and stuff. These are cold weather animals, and they have super thick skin. So if you make leather out of a rhino, suspected scam just called me. If you make leather out of a rhino, that's some thick leather armor. Like, that's some sturdy stuff. Whereas
you're
human
making
skin armor is probably not as good.
me sound like I don't even know.
Psychotic?
You're also
Yeah.
talking really quiet. I don't
Sorry.
even know if the mic's picking that up. But you've made some other stuff. Like you made... Al was having you make him some stuff.
I made too much stuff for Al
What did you
that
make?
he didn't even need.
What did you make for Al
I
that you didn't
made
need?
him the whole set of one thing. What was it? When you said you only needed like
The
4 of the 8?
Eviscerator set, I believe it is.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was midway through leveling, right?
I sent you a letter, said I just need these pieces. But I mean, it's good that you know how
Well,
to make them.
You probably got skill ups for it.
Yeah.
And
It's mostly I didn't read it, and I assumed you needed all of it.
that's fine. You sold the other pieces, I imagine. If not, Josh.
I
probably.
sent it to Josh to enchant,
so they're
disenchant.
disenchant.
They're dream shards for you, I'm sure. But just watch the trade channel. When people are looking for leather workers, you got the skills, you make it for them, they'll send a tip your way.
And you made a bunch of those, what's it called? Ice something, the leg enchants? The attack power and crit leg enchants.
Really?
You
I
made a
didn't
bunch
Oh
of
yeah, I
those.
made that for a guildie.
You made one for a guildie, but you also made a stack of them just for skill ups. Have you bothered going to the auction house to try and sell any of them yet?
No, they're still sitting in my bag.
Can I have some for my...
Yeah. I'll
Don't
se-
whisper.
Why whisper?
Can I have some for my gear?
Yeah, I'll mail it to you.
Please and thank you. And you see what you can sell in the auction house. Get some gold for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Use your trade skills.
I already
Exploit
forget
people.
what it was. What is it?
They're ice
scale.
something, ice scale leg armor. I
Ice
can't
Oh yeah,
remember
they
what
were
it's called.
expensive to make.
Well, they're a frozen orb each, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they sell for like, last time I looked, they were selling for like 180 gold each.
Right now, they're one of the best enchants you can have on your legs.
They are the best enchant you can have on your legs. Unless you're a leather worker and have a special one you can do for yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the only
But
one that
everybody's
beats it.
probably doing it, so
Yes.
no one's gonna want mine.
No, but there's demand though. There's more people who are melee that want that enchant than there are leather workers.
No.
And if there are, undercut them.
Yeah, if there's a bunch for sale for like 180, sell yours for 178.
Or $179.99.
No, because when I see someone do that, I just pay the 180 because I'm like,
You're one in a
that's
million.
just, you're not trying.
You're one in a million.
Really, you won't pay the extra copper just out of spite? I'll pay the extra copper out of spite. Because it's a copper. I'm like, I see what you're doing, but you're not trying hard enough. If you're going to undercut somebody, you need to actually give a discount. Like if I'm paying for something that someone's undercut someone, I want to actually save a couple gold. I would rather pay a nice even round number and an extra copper than pay the weird like.
You're one of those guys that tops off your tank at the gas station, aren't you?
No, he doesn't actually.
No, it's I don't know. If you're gonna undercut, do it right. Actually undercut. Like when I'm undercutting someone, I undercut them and I sell my stuff.
Well, 179.99 over 180 is an actual undercut.
Yeah, but it's a lame undercut. It's a you're not trying. It's a you want the full price, but you want yours to show up first so it sells faster. it's you're gaming the system a little bit.
Oh, if you want to do
Which
that,
normally I have no problem with, but
you know what I used to do is actually just match their price and
have the
undercut the
bid.
bid.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too.
Then
So I
yours
guess-
shows up first.
Yes, it does. That's yeah. Or what some people like to do is you find something that a ton of them are listed for, and you stick yours right in the middle with the starting bid, but have your buyout be like 3,000 gold and hope someone misclicks.
I'm
and you make
tempted to
some
try
money.
I've
that,
done
but I
that.
don't know if it'll
You've misclicked and bought the way more expensive one.
Yeah.
like the 3,000.
Not the
gold?
3,000.
Well, not 3,000
you-
gold. I've never had 3,000 gold, but
Yes, you have.
well,
You must
not when
have.
it happened.
Yeah. You
I don't
probably
know.
have 3,000 gold now, don't you?
I don't
No,
know
I
if that
bought
would
that book.
blacklist me or not. I want to try that.
Do it. Make a banker alt if you want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I know it's frowned upon. I don't think it's against the rules.
I think there is one rule. If you're going to do it, you have to make a tune that's got a lot of special characters in its name.
Yes, you have to sound as lame and scammerish as you possibly can. So, you're leatherworking. You don't have daily quests, right? You just
No.
buy it all with skin
I
stuff.
just buy it all. Yeah.
So you like Arctic fur and Borean, like the heavy Borean leather.
Heavy Borean.
So do you think
leather.
you have all your patterns yet, or do you still have more to buy?
I still have more to buy. I only buy it when Al tells me he needs something.
So your leatherworking is basically controlled by me and Al telling you we need stuff.
I've never made you anything.
Well, yeah, I know. I keep buying stuff. Your leatherworking is controlled by Al.
Yeah.
And you could do it all with just heavy Borean leather.
See,
Yeah.
I've said this before, but I have a problem where if I want something, I don't want to wait till tomorrow. I want it right now.
So your problem is stagnating our professions.
No, because I'm supporting somebody's profession, just not
See?
yours.
I could have had that pattern already and been selling it if it wasn't for you.
Could you?
Yeah,
Do you? Why?
because I would have bought it for you.
Oh, the one that I didn't end up needing, or the bold scarlet ruby?
The bold scarlet ruby.
Because I have said that I need the bold scarlet rubies multiple times over the weeks.
But then you always go and get
I
it.
even
Stop going
I
out
have
and get it.
gloves. You know what? I have, and I mean this in the least condescending and patronizing way possible.
Oh, let's see
But
how
I-
this comes out.
I have my gloves that my paladin is wearing that I regularly play and raid in. They have a plus 12 strength gem instead of a plus 16 strength gem in them. Because you made me a strength gem, because I was like, oh, I got new gloves. I just need strength and whatever gems.
And it wasn't perfect.
And you sent me a plus strength 12 gem, plus 12 strength gem, and I thought to myself, Al worked hard on this gem. I'm going to use it, and it's still in there. I haven't replaced it yet. I'm still using a plus 12 strength gem in my gloves that was made by Okona. So
You know, there was a good chance that could have been a plus 14 as well.
it could have been, which still would have eaten away at me a little bit every time I see it because it's not plus 16.
Yeah.
But honestly, the difference in the course of an entire raid between plus 12 and plus 16 in one gem slot's probably not huge. But
I'll get you a plus 16 today.
you know what? The thing is, at this point, I'm just going to leave it there until I get better gloves.
Even if I make you a gem?
Well, if you make me a gem and you want me to switch it, I'll switch it. But you could also sell that gem and further support your jewel crafting habit.
I will sell other gems for sure.
So, should I talk about my professions before
Yes.
we run out of time? Because we're already at 50 minutes or 48 minutes, depending on how much I have to edit. So, I have Enchanting and Inscription as my professions. I have no gathering profession. And I have had people in our guild be like, oh, man, Enchanting is such like a money sink. Like, I never make any money off of it. And, like, Inscription is pointless. Like, you can't make any money off of Inscription.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've had people be like, oh, like, these professions don't make money. But you were talking about, like, you know how I was talking about the damaged necklaces, and you're like, yeah, if you get in on day one. See, that's what I decided to do. Like, I looked ahead and I was like, how can I make money with these professions going into Northrend? And I was like, okay, if I do this, and this early, then maybe I can make some gold off of it. So one way that I saw that you can make money with Inscription is the Dark Moon Fair cards. So you need a rare ink and the common ink for the Northrend herbs. So I should say how I get the inks first. Okay, so you can mill herbs, right? So you've got your block of herbs like Outlands, Northrends, and then you've got like multiple blocks in Classic. So you take 5 of a type of herb, you mill them, and you can get from 1 to 4 of the common pigment, and I think between 1 and 3 of the rare pigment, or between 0 and 3 of the rare pigment. You actually often get 0. So you mill the herbs for these pigments, and then you turn the pigments into dyes, and then you take the dyes in a parchment, and you can make glyphs, or you can make other items. So what I do with the Dark Moon cards is there is one Dark Moon card, the Dark Moon card Greatness. They're trinket items. And you make a deck of cards and you hand them in during Dark Moon Fair, and you get this trinket. And the Greatness trinket is the best in slot trinket for a couple expansions, not a couple expansions, for a couple blocks of this expansion for most classes. And because it takes the stat that is not stamina, that is your highest, and it adds 99 of that, and it has a proc effect based on what that stat is. So if you're melee and strength is your primary stat, you get 99 strength and an on-hit effect that can add a bunch more attack power. Or if you're a caster, you get like 99 int and some cool caster ability that I can't remember because I don't have one on a caster. So you make this deck and you sell them, and because you make a random Dark Moon card, right? And you might get lucky and get one of the Nobles cards that you get this that you get the Greatness card out of, or you might get some other lesser value card. So the Nobles cards at the beginning were selling for like 1,000 to 3,000 gold per card, but like the other types were selling for like between 5 and 30 gold each. So what I did is I would go and I would buy out all the herbs on the auction house, and I would mill them and make as many cards as I could. And as long as I got, X percentage of them as Nobles cards, then I'd make a profit. And I made a fair amount of gold doing that. And with the Enchanting, I just got the high-end enchants early that use the Abyss crystals. And I was even able to just buy the Abyss crystals and then flip them and sell the enchants for a profit. But they're starting to go down in price, so I'm not really doing that anymore. But even just leveling up, because of the Inscription, any enchant you make, you can put on like a armor or weapon vellum and put it on the auction house. And as long as you look at the auction house first and see which ones sell well and make sure you just make those, then you can generally make a profit as you're leveling enchanting. It's not hard to do. So the people that I see complaining that it's such a money sink, I'm just like, hey, I made money leveling my enchanting. Like, I don't think I've spent anything on my enchanting or Inscription.
Yeah, I agree with you on that for sure. I think even the Timbermaw agility enchants would still sell.
They do.
Yeah.
And I occasionally will just go and make some of those and sell them, because those you can put on heirloom weapons.
Yes.
Because they're one of the best enchants that you can put on an heirloom weapon. Outside of Crusader, some people like Crusader. I actually have Crusader on my Warrior's heirloom weapon. But if you don't want the chance on hit randomness, then the agility is actually really good. So,
yeah, I used it a number of times.
Yeah, it's not a difficult profession really, and you totally can make money off of it. Some people some people choose not to make money. Yeah. I think they don't want to put the effort into it and go read the auction house and figure out what they should be making to turn a profit. But
yeah, a lot of these people are on boosted characters as well, trying to boost them up. It's like, well, we can't even get materials. Dude, take your guy and wipe out Wailing Caverns.
Oh, for low level stuff, yeah.
Get all your stuff and then just move it up.
Even in Northrend, like, I know people will be like, oh, okay, like, I'm leveling my enchanting. I just spent like 800 gold getting the mats to level from 345 to 350. And like, just from us leveling, like completing quests, you should be able to get enough mats just from doing all the quests in Northrend to level your enchanting.
This the freaking greens are dropping like candy.
Yeah, like they drop constantly too. Like if you're just even out doing quests, like you'll get a green as a quest reward, but you might have 2 drop which during the course of doing the quest. Like it's so easy to get enchanting mats in Northrend. Like if you're in a position where you have to go buy all your enchanting mats, you're just not doing it right. You should be out playing the game and you just get them organically while you're playing. But that's like even now, like I do enchants. I know not all the time for you guys, but whenever you remind me that you need enchants, I'll do enchants for you. Which I still haven't done your weapon enchant because I don't have the eternal air. I need to go out and either farm it or buy some.
How many?
I
you
might
need?
actually have some.
I need 4 for the enchant. I only have 1 in the bank because I gave a ton to Sam.
Oh, never
for
mind.
her
Then I
leather,
don't have
for
any.
her leatherworking.
I might have some.
Okay, but yeah, that's the reason I haven't done. I have all the dream shards. I have tons of dream shards.
If you need Eternals, check with me. Air is a little bit rare given what I do, but I get tons of Eternals, and sometimes I get air.
I have a super easy spot that I can go farm air, but I just haven't taken the time to go do it. Like I could go farm those 3 eternal air in 20 minutes. I just have to fly out to Zoldrak. There's a spot where I can farm them there. It's super easy, barely an inconvenience. But that's YouTube reference. I keep having to fight the urge to say that. But yeah, it's easy. And I think in my bank right now, I have like 15 stacks of the dust. What's the Northrend dust called?
Arcane.
No, that's Outlands. It's not Illusion. It starts with an I.
Infinite.
Infinite. I have like 15 stacks of infinite dust and like 4 stacks of the greater cosmic essences, and I think 3 stacks of dream shards. So like I've got enough stuff that I can enchant the basic enchants for a while, and then it's just the abyss crystals that are harder to get. But if you run enough heroics, you're gonna win the greeds on some of the epics at the end often enough that you'll get some. Like it's all very doable.
Yeah, and as we get better geared, eventually 4 of us can run some of these dungeons and not pull in a 5th, and we can just get all of those epics that we're not using over to you.
Yeah, the only thing that's stopping us from 4-manning heroics right now
Is a squishy
is tank gear. If we could get our tank friend geared up, because I've run heroics 4-mans with guild groups before, and it's all it is it takes a few seconds longer to kill a boss. Like it's not hard. As long as you have a tank and a healer, 2 DPS is 2/3 as good as 3. It's just a matter of time. Like there's no mechanics that are going to rule out being able to do them with 4 people. So yeah, just think of the crystals we could get if we farmed heroics.
Yeah.
For the abyss crystals, we could have all the enchants we want. But anyways, we're sitting at about an hour, and we must have spent a solid 15 minutes of that hour talking about professions like we said we were going to. And as we sit here, it's actually slowly getting darker and darker, and I worry that I've been talking quieter and quieter as it gets darker just out of habit. So
Oh, good. I thought I was passing on to the other realm.
you may be. I mean, I can't make any promises. Guarantees. I can't guarantee that you're not. But I think that's our episode for today.
All right.
Say your thing that you finish the episodes with.
That's outrageous.
Every time?
Bye.